All right, I don't want to talk too much on this because this is a warranty replacement. Well, you know how I am. I like to give good details. So, what's going on? The engine that this is the one I did the head gasket. It just had the burnt valve. It came back because the check engine light's on for P0014, and that's related to the exhaust actuator. I replaced the oil control valve to see what happens, but pretty much what's going on, there's no movement, zero movement. And it wouldn't surprise me if what happened with this one, I think I reused the old gear, is going to be the same as what happened to the previous vehicle I just did with the timing chain components, which the actuator couldn't hold the preferred angle because the vanes inside of it was broken. It had it was on the intake side, P011. This is a P0014. So the vanes were broke, and it was incapable of sustaining 25 degrees. It would back out. That was just a very well, lack of a better word, it was interesting. That's what it was. It was interesting to find that. I pulled it apart and we saw that the vanes were broke. We're supposed to connect to the center portion or the hub, however you want to call it. This one I think is the same thing, but we probably got all of them broken. But it does have like a strange noise too when it starts up. So I just moved it in here. I'm gonna start it up and let you hear it because it had like a slight rattle. Hopefully when I pull this down, do the replacement, pull this gear apart, and hopefully we'll see the same thing, but with more vanes broken. I'm hoping, because I know I put new timing chains, guides, everything new except for that gear. And I can't remember which gear I didn't replace, but it might have been that one. And that was my fault. I have a new one laying around. I put it on here, but I was like, okay, it's not broke. Why bother fix it? And it bit me in the ass 3 months later. So here we are. It is what it is. Let me let you hear it. I'm going to show you what the PID data look like, and then I'm going to start tearing this, get down to the minimum. And I'm going to do this without having to take the timing port, the bottom portion down. I'm just going to take the valve cover off, get it at top dead center, and make my marks on the gear, remove the gear, and then replace it, put the tensioner back, and reassemble everything. So, because that's when I do these timing chains, that's the last thing I got to install anyway, is that last gear with the chain. So we should be fine. Let me let you hear it, pull up some information. We'll go from there, because I really only want to knock this out in less than 2 hours because I have other obligations. Oh, shoot. I just don't want to. I hate having to do warranty. I got to do another warranty replacement tomorrow too. 5 hours. 5-hour replacement. Part failed 9 months later. Thanks Euro Parts. I don't know if it's. I don't know what to say. It'd be like that. It's like this year has been nothing but just having to replace parts that I put on the previous year. I don't like it. I don't want it to happen. But because you expect to put new stuff on and expect it to work, and it is not like that. It's like these companies expect you. They're like they're pushing you out of business. So it feels like it's not happening, but it just feels like they're out to get you by having a poor quality control. Let me show you the code that we got. Exhaust position, actuator valve control circuit, P0014 and 13. All right, that's what's here. I didn't see the P0013. I'm gonna clear those. Now, as a matter of fact, let me show you the freeze frame data for the P0014 because it just should be a zero actual angle versus a commanded angle. Let me see here. Let's go pull up, get that glare off the screen. All right, here's the freeze frame. Let's go down to the desired versus actual. It's down here somewhere. It's down here somewhere. Expose yourself. There we go. Here's our exhaust. Intake's working perfect. So logically, my intake should have been replaced. The one of them I didn't replace was the exhaust. My fault, but again, it worked before. Why bother replace it? That was my logic. it's just stuck at 0. So let me let you hear that little rattle that it has, and now I can promise you, just take my word for it. When I command this, it does nothing. It just stays at 0 degrees actual angle. All right, let you hit a rattle. Hopefully that'll be alleviated when I repair this. And in all honesty, it sounds like a catalytic converter rattle. I put a new catalytic converter on here also. It's just shit, like it's going to shit. That's what it seems like. Put a new converter on here. Who knows? That probably took a crap. And but I know I left the old part on here. So let me go ahead and tear to it. I'm just gonna use a 10mm, zip everything off, get this valve cover off, get the plugs out, get to the state where I need to. And there's always condensation in here, always. So this is disappointing. The exhaust is brand new. This don't help the situation out really. I mean, I don't. It's new. Let me see if it's locked. If it's freed up. Cause if I recall properly, these shouldn't. Timing chain. Timing chain really shouldn't be this slack. No. All right. So it's locked in place. I don't know specifically what's wrong with it. It's not loose, so it's not rattling, obviously. Only thing I can do is still just replace the actuator and see what happens, because I was definitely under the impression this is going to be failed, the one that I didn't replace, but that's still working. Oh gosh, this is just only reinforces the idea that parts that you buy ain't worth shit. This is just only reinforced that idea. So I'm gonna get this set top dead center, get my timing marks lined up, put some white out there, and what I'll do, just remove and replace it with the new one that I have. Dang it, man. The only good thing about this, on the exhaust side, the timing chain mark for the intake side is lined up. So that works out. I don't have to make a mark or anything. I'm gonna, oh man, where's my light? Oh. So I'm gonna get a 18 socket, use my wrench, break this loose. Let's pull the guide off. Guide off there. All right, let's get. Crack the tensioner loose. There's going to be some oil that come out of there. Clean up our mess afterwards. Where's my 18? Damn it. Oh boy. Put these somewhere. I don't drop these. That wasn't smart of me to put them up there, to be honest. And I'll take the blame for that one. That wasn't smart. These are different. Dang it. So the one that I have is a different color and they're oriented differently. Damn. I'm gonna have to go to the parts store and get a new one. So where, let me see here. Show you. Line them up. They're different. I'm gonna have to run to the parts store and get a new one because this ain't gonna work. Life, right? That's why I didn't use it, because when they brought me the kit, they sent me the wrong one. Let me put a mark on this one just to be on the safe side, just in case this so happened to jump. Timing. All right, I guess this is bittersweet. I wound up taking this actuator apart, and the blades are intact to the hub here. They're not broken. I mean, the only thing else it could be is that it got stuck and it wouldn't do anything. But what I'm also going to do is pull the cap off and see if there's any type of blockage, and just clean some obstruction if it is there, and that'll answer my question. But something's evidently causing it to not operate. And let me just remind you, I did check the circuit, so I know for a fact the circuit works. And I used the test light to command it on, and it just wasn't, it's not actuating. And that's fine inside the cap. There's no obstruction. There's no obstruction here in the cam. There's no obstruction from the VVT, the solenoid, to the cam. I mean, I'm just can't. The only thing it's going to be is that this gear just defective. It's the only thing it can be. completely missed that shot. But I'm just wanted to know I got the new variating actuator, the gear, and I got it installed in reverse order. I do have videos in regards to how to install these. I didn't go by the book, but that's me. Don't listen to me. You shouldn't be. So went to AutoZone, got a Dorman. Who cares about the part number because all these parts are crap. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna get my tensioner installed, okay. Get that installed in reverse order. It's back together. Here goes nothing. All right, so that's great. We got some movement on the exhaust right here. That's awesome. That's the variance, which is no big deal. We want 0 variance. We have exhaust position, intake. Awesome. There's our problem. Bad new part. Prematurely failed. So we have a desired 3.4 degrees and we're actually at 3 degrees, 16 degrees on intake, and it's making 16 degrees. No variance, 0 degrees variance, it's perfect. Bad new parts. I'm gonna take this on a test drive, but this is fixed, and this just reinforces the idea that these new parts that we're getting are literally gonna potentially put us out of business. I mean, this was free for her, but it's time for me. And potentially, even though she was easy going, people get upset when this stuff happened. Brand new part failed within, well, I take that back. I put that gear on there a year ago, but that still doesn't justify the fact that it doesn't work after a year. I mean, at least let the parts work 30,000 miles or so, you know, at least. But these, they're failing within like 10,000 miles. I think this one probably lasts about 10 or 15 or so because it was like over a year. Man, I'm not going to complain because this has just been an ongoing dilemma. Let me give it a little snap throttle. And it's working. Look at that. It desires 10, 12, and it's meeting those expectations. You know, the small variance is a main thing because it has to move, and but it could be better. You know, but it's working. It's working like it's supposed to. So let me do one more thing. I can go and do an actuation test. Gosh, I'm just so aggravated. I could have been working on another car, and it ain't even like worth filing a labor claim or anything, even if it was something that I got this online. I got the better brand, but it's still same thing, same concept. These parts should not be breaking. The exhaust actuator, I should be able to command it to 25 and it'll meet those expectations. Here's our exhaust position. Here's basically me controlling the desired I am the desired position, and we're seeing at the bottom of this was highlighted the reflection of what is capable of doing, which is completely reflective of the desirability of it. 25 degrees, it matches. Take it down, 20, it's 20. No, it timed out, that's all. But this works. I'm gonna take it on test drive, make sure there's no check engine light codes. As a matter of fact, let me see if there's anything right now. I could probably put that old actuator I put in there, I changed back in there, but I'm not. I'm gonna leave the new one in there. Oh, that was because I didn't have those hooked up. Okay, that was my fault. Boy. Hey man, look, if anything ever happens, I'll definitely update in the description. But I got another warranty replacement job tomorrow, 5 hours on a BMW. Maybe I'll go live and bitch about that. But this is what really makes me want to be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want things to, when you're right, you should be rewarded for being right. You shouldn't be set back like this because it gives you a bad name. And I'm really big on reputation. I gotta preserve that. I don't care about the money like that. I just need to preserve my reputation, my credibility. But when things like this happen, it messes me up. It makes me take a lot of stuff that I do into consideration. It's like, do I really want to do this? And I understand why some people just really stick to dealer parts, but dealer parts still fail too. At least hopefully you have the best chance of things working out. But that's what aftermarket's for. Aftermarket's supposed to be able to make a name for themselves, and they're not living up to the expectation currently. Because if I spend $100,000 in a store and I gotta take back $10,000 worth of parts in a year, that's bad. I'm gonna be honest, that's just not good. That says something about quality control. If we can get it down to 0.25%, that'd be great. But these things don't need to be failing like this, man. And the company themselves are wasting money. Like, if a person like me have to file a labor claim, why in the world wouldn't they just keep that money and make a better quality part, or have better quality quality control? But that's a trade-off when you have these large conglomerates. People can go to the dealership, and just because they're larger, they're justified in throwing these ridiculous, overwhelming numbers to the customer, and they'll pay for it. But let it be an independent person. Why do I gotta pay this much? They go to the dealer, they'll acquiesce. They will. But anyway, if anything happens, I'll definitely update. Hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, had it real show some work. See you on the next one.